Welcome back to another edition of Keys to the Game. And in this segment, we're going to be talking about the power of visualization. Now, before we get started, like always, if you guys can please do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button, man. This is Keys to the Game on the Arnoldsthoughts podcast. I am your host, Arnold Lewis, and I'm always giving you guys the keys to the game every single week on how you can improve your game, become the best athlete, the best player, the best overseas professional that you can be. And in this segment, we're going to be talking about just the power of visualization. Visualization is so strong. And I know most guys that he see like Kobe talked a lot about visualization. A lot of people start listening to, it's kind of messed up how we start listening to people more that when they die than when they were alive.
What's up, guys? I just dropped my new ebook, 6 Must-Have Steps to Be an Overseas Basketball Player. You know, I've been playing for the last 9 years. I got all the steps and the traits that you need to start your journey with networking, with getting a mentor, all the things that you need to start your journey to be a protege. So go get that ebook, click the link in the bio, and make sure you get your steps to being that overseas pro one day. Let's go.
Because Kobe was talking about all these things and no one really fed off of Kobe, and really there was too much hate going on for Mamba, Mr. Bean. You know what I'm saying? But he spoke a lot of visualization, and the power of visualization is so strong. It's so strong. I use visualization practice every single day. Like actually taking time to visualize what it is that you want your game to look like. What kind of athlete do you want to be? What are you striving for? Realistic goals. But I think the first thing is you got to have an imagination. Your imagination for the game of what you're capable of doing. Don't restrain yourself. Do not restrain yourself from what kind of player that you see yourself to be. The only difference between being the player that you see yourself to be is actually putting in the work to be the player that you see yourself to be. Have that imagination in your mind to visualize what type of player. If you want to be a knockdown shooter like Steph, hey man, you got to put the work in that he put in. If you want anything to be somewhere like that, there has to be the work behind what you see yourself, but do not put yourself short. Because, hey, man, make yourself as great as you want to be. And if you can at least work to get close to that, no matter what, you're going to be a better athlete, a better player overall, just because of the expectations you set for yourself and the work that you put in to try to get that. Even if you don't reach to that ultimate expectation, what you become in the process of getting to that expectation is going to make you the player you still didn't see yourself to be. Still nothing short of amazing. So I think that's the first practice when using this technique of visualization, is to have an open imagination. I think there was an interview one time with Shaq, and he was talking about Kobe, and he was like, they were talking, and Kobe just started doing some some dribble moves real quick, and then he was talking. It was on, what's the show that Shaq do? The halftime show with Ernie and Charles, and he was just doing some dribbling moves. He was talking about Kobe doing some dribbling moves. All that is just he visualizing what's going to happen. But he's just not afraid to show it in front of anyone. We'd be so scared to just show what we can do, like what our mind is really. As a hooper, your mind is just naturally drifting. I can't even picture how many imaginary jump shots I've taken throughout my lifetime. I may have taken so much imaginary jump shots walking through a door, tapping the entrance of the door like it's a backboard, doing an up and under move. Like, that's all part of visualization. We're just not locking in on that. You ever did a move on the door and then get in the gym and then try to do the same move? Imagine if you just take the time and just actually focus on that and really dive deeper into it. Really dive deeper into it. There's a book. I spoke about this book plenty of times. It's definitely one of my favorite books. I read it twice. because it was a bit of a long read. I advise using audiobooks. Audiobooks for me just helps me out so much more because I am able to be on the go and still listen. And I like to listen to things more than once. They say repetition is the father of all learning. So I'm putting reps in. I'm not the type of person that just wants to read something one time because you're not going to retain the information. I just heard you don't retain 90 or 92% of what you just heard or something like that in a day. So you're going to forget. So I would prefer to listen to something over and over again. And Psycho-Cybernetics is definitely one of those books because it really trains your brain and tells you and dives deep into what visualization can really do. And examples, like the whole basketball example. If you practice shooting a basketball in a gym, it's the same thing. If you focus on the senses and use all your senses, like what the gym smell like, what shoes you're wearing, what color tights are you wearing, how does the atmosphere feel, how's the ball feel. If you just make the picture as real as possible in your mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's fake. So even in this book, they did an experiment of people who went to the gym and shot the basketball for 20 minutes, and then people who shot the basketball for 20 minutes in their mind. They did that for a week. When they brought the people back, the people that shot the basketball in the gym, they improved by 24%. The people that shot the basketball in visualization practice only improved by 23%. So it just goes to show you, once you really start visualizing and really going into your mind and focusing on getting and becoming the player that I want to be, I'm going to just state this right now. It's going to be hard. The hardest thing for most people to do is think. It's really hard to think. So I should get into a state to visualize and becoming, it's a practice. Just like anything you practice, you get better at. It's not something you're just going to pick up and you say, oh, it don't work for me. Well, I'm pretty sure the first time you picked up basketball, you didn't make 10 shots in a row. So it's going to take practice. It's going to take work, repetition, father of all learning. It's going to take time. But once you start really focusing on and making it a habit, you start to see how it changes your game. I've been doing this for, I think, about a year now. But it's just something that I learned to help me just always mentally get an edge. You as a basketball player or athlete, you're always trying to get an edge. You're always trying to come up and become better than you were yesterday. You always want to become better than you were the week before, the year before. I'm playing basketball for 9 years professionally. I'm telling you what, I feel like I'm still in the beginning stages of learning a lot to do with the game because I stay trying to get better and learning. There's so much that I need to improve upon. And I feel like that's why I'm still 9 years and feeling great, because I know there's always something to improve upon. There's always some work that needs to be done to improve my game. I'm never satisfied. I'm confident, but I'm not satisfied. The hunger to get better is still in me at all times. If I can't get to the gym, I'll make sure I hit the weights. If I can't get the weights, I know every single day I got to stretch. And then whatever it takes, if I got to drive an hour, I got to go drive an hour just to hit the gym. Like, there's just so much things will hold you back from being the player that you desire to be. But you have to understand, if I see myself at this place of being a player, this really good athlete, whatever it is, I have to be willing to not let anything stop me from putting the work in. I can't let nothing stop me from putting the work in. It's detriment that I have to put the work in order to get to where I want to be. It's just there's no other way that I can be the player that I choose to be if I do not put the work in every single day. And I think the last part about visualization that I'm going to touch on is just have realistic goals. Don't set yourself up to be, I'm not jumping like Zion. That's a fact. That's not one of my realistic goals of what I visualize. Can I jump? Yes. I'm not jumping like Zion. Be real with yourself. Choose the type of player that you want to be. But be realistic with yourself. Don't make unreal expectations, and then when you don't reach it, you say, man, I've been doing this and it's not happening for me. Be real with yourself. Understand your game. Take time to understand your game. Take time to picture out what you do, what you're good at, how you can improve, and picture that step of where you want to be later on in life, later on in your game. So, as you guys dive deeper into this visualization practice, hey man, pick up a book. Psycho-Cybernetics. If you're into reading, I'm telling you, it'll probably change your life. That's just a good book that I stand by. I gotta actually reread it again. It's just not one-time read. It's definitely something that's powerful, that can change your game, change your reality, make you just really use all the tools at your dispensary to improve. Too much time we focus on the physical in our bodies in that way, and not the mental, and strengthening up the mental mind. We always say the game's like 80% mental, 90%. I really feel like it's 90-10. So let's use this power of visualization to change us into the player and start tweaking and improving our game. That's all I got for this segment of Keys to the Game, man. Use the power of visualization, study it, implement it into your life, implement it into your game, and make it a habit. You know why? Because greatness is a habit, not a right. That's all I got. Till next time. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.